Hi there, Saints. So it is Saturday, which normally would be park run day, but there's actually no park runs anywhere nearby where I'm staying in Hirosaki. The nearest park run is actually about 90 miles away, so there's no way that I'm going to get near to that anytime soon. But I've now been in Hirosaki, what would it be, 4 days? 4 days now. And it's been good. So on Wednesday, I met up with another OMF missionary called Levi, who actually wrote a really good short book called Ultimate Grace about bringing Jesus and ultimate frisbee to Japan. So I've been wanting to meet him for a long time, and that was really blessed. And then I caught the Shinkansen, the bullet train, all the way up to Aomori. So at one point traveling at about 200 miles an hour. It's pretty incredible, to be honest. Maybe another time I'll be able to reflect on that a bit more. And then I caught another train, much slower train, from Aomori to Hirosaki. And then I've been staying at the church since Wednesday. And this afternoon, actually, I'm off to go look at an apartment, which hopefully we will think is suitable, and we can then progress and I can get my own place to stay. It's been really good being here. I've had quite a few days to just getting used to things and just settle in really and pray and reflect on what I'm doing here in Japan, because it's the holiday season and there's lots of short-term workers who are coming and going, and everything's just kind of in a state of transition, not just for myself but actually for the church and the ministry at the church as well. But nonetheless, we've got all the important stuff done. Yesterday I was down at the city hall sorting out all of my documentation, registering with the local city, getting onto the health insurance for the city and prefecture and area. And that all went well. And then last night we went down, a group of us, to the Nebuta festival, the Nebuta Matsuri, which is like a big festival which happens at this time of year all across Aomori, but we went down to the Hirosaki one last night, and that was absolutely incredible. And I've actually got a few clips to show you of that. I actually got to take part at one point even, so that was awesome. And I'm going to hopefully show those clips now and maybe do a bit of explaining about just exactly what is going on. So I hope you enjoy that, and it's great to keep you updated with my life, my new life here in Japan. All right, God bless, Saints. So after that first drum, there was a famous actress in Japan who was taking part in the Nebuta Festival this year, and this is her. She's a starring role in some new drama that is coming up. And what we see here is the key chant that they have in the festival here in Hirosaki. It's different in the different cities throughout Aomori Prefecture. But in Hirosaki, the chant is Ya Ya-do, and then people respond the same with Ya Ya-do. I was told that it's possibly kind of like the sound you make when you're attacking someone and you're sparring and you're fighting. And that, for Hirosaki at least, may have something to do with the origin of this festival, which most likely has no religious connotations, although people have tried to put those into it in more recent times. It probably began to do with the military, if anything. The legend is at least that it was to do with armies coming out and going back in. But really it only became a massive feature of life here in the past 30, 35, 40 years, and tourism has played a major role in that. So what you see here are the floats in Hirosaki, and there's kind of three main Nebuta or Nebuta, depending on your pronunciation, festivals in Aomori Prefecture. This is the one in Hirosaki. It's kind of the most somber one. The one in Aomori City is much more lively. It has dancing of various kinds, which I'll be taking part in actually later this week. And it's much more uplifted, and the floats tend to be three-dimensional. There's another big festival nearby where the floats are very, very tall. They're kind of tall floats. But these ones are largely flat and disc or fan shaped. And the floats are generally done in Hirosaki by regional kind of community organizations. And so each part of Hirosaki brings its own floats. And people from that area, from that community, are the ones who you see moving the floats, rotating the floats, playing the music, playing the drums. And although it's not shown in this video for legal reasons, lots and lots of children, young children, take a big part in all of these parts of these festivities. Here we see not just the drums and the cymbals and the flutes, but also playing on shells, large like horn-like shells. It's quite a unique sound. And this was really exciting because here at this point, seeing that we were kind of white people, you can see me running out there in the white t-shirt and the blue shorts, we were called out to help with the lifting of this float. Kind of just to get us involved in it. They didn't need our help, but they thought, let's get it lifted up really, really high and exciting. And so I got to take part here in this moment. I also got given a fan by a lady and some sweets by another lady. So I was gifted lots of things, which is kind of the privilege of being one of the very few white people, clearly non-Japanese people at this festival, even though it is a big tourist attraction. And all the trains and all the flights to this part of Japan are fully booked at this time of year, and the population massively increases due to internal tourism, because these festivals are key to keeping this part of Japan financially viable. There's me looking incredibly happy that that just happened. These are some of the most impressive drums after the massive one that you saw at the very beginning. The floats themselves often have parts from historical events which happened in Japan and especially in this region, as well as local myths and folklore as well. Unlike in the other parts of Aomori, the floats here tend to be much more graphic, and there's actually some horror aspects and things like that involved in them.